A very good evening to all of you. This is Business Today, your weekly business roundup brought to you exclusively on Channel I. Today is 19th of April 2017 and we are meeting you just after the Avradu season and the holiday season. And we hope you had a wonderful new year filled with love, peace and prosperity, and we wish that happiness will remain in your lives right throughout. So with that wish, we are ready to start our show for today with Business Personality segment. Today we hope to meet an individual, a business personality who has built an empire from scratch, and today he owns a prime business of Sri Lanka. So let's have a look at the introduction first to welcome our guest for tonight.
A dynamic leadership coupled with entrepreneurship par excellence could be termed as one critical ingredient of the recipe of success. Prime Group of Companies Genial Chairman and Chartered Management Accountant Premalal Brahmanage had done the near impossible. He has steered Prime Group to its current status as Sri Lanka's leading property development conglomerate within a short span of 2 decades. Mr. Brahmanage is the chairman of Prime Group and also the deputy chairman of HNB Grameen Finance Limited. His latest acquisition is the Summit Finance, first listed finance company under Prime umbrella. He is a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Management Accountants UK, Chartered Business Administrator, Canada, member of Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, and holds a postgraduate diploma in marketing from the University of Sri Jaya Wardhanapura. He was conferred with the prestigious UCD Entrepreneur of the Year in 2011, considering his vast experience in the real estate industry and exposure to many other industries as an entrepreneur. Under his leadership, Prime has won many national and international accolades and has earned the reputation of being placed among the great workplaces in Sri Lanka for the 3rd consecutive year in 2017.
Yes, and that is Mr. Premalal Brahmanage, Chairman of Prime Lands Group. A very good evening to you and we warmly welcome you. Yes, let's go back 20 years in time and start our conversation from there. How did it all start? Because you had a very humble beginning.
Yeah, Prime Land started 21 years ago with a vision of creating a better place on earth for everyone. And with that vision, of course, we started, it was a humble beginning with 3 people, myself, my deputy chairperson, current deputy chairperson, Sandhamini Pereira, and 1 employee.
Just 1 employee?
Yeah, then altogether 3, we started, that's how Prime was born.
Okay, so if you go further back in time, you were employed, you were in the private sector for 8 years and you took this move out to start up on your own. What made you take such a move? Because easier and the more safer option for most of us is to be employed elsewhere and to be guaranteed with a monthly wage. So you took a move out and came out of that comfort zone and took this challenge. So what made you take this move out?
Yeah, I was at that time group finance manager at a leading firm. But I was in my back of my mind, I was thinking of to start my own, and I was doing my MBA at PIM, and then there was a subject called entrepreneurship. So then we have gone and interviewed several leading entrepreneurs, and then the subject of entrepreneurship was really fascinating to me. Then I thought, why not? And then I decided to go ahead and start my own company with the vision of creating a better place on earth, meaning giving mihikating hondamatana for everybody.
Okay, so the primary challenge anyone would face when you start up on your own is raising capital. How did you overcome this challenge?
Yeah, raising capital is always a challenge for anybody, especially when you start going for a start in the company. And when it comes to real estate, it's a further challenge because for real estate you need a huge capital. So at that time we came out with a novel idea of, we did not have money, we did not have a brand name or anything, but we came with a novel idea of talking to the landowners and getting their lands, but payment will be later. And so that way we managed to motivate some of the landowners, and then subsequently of course we delivered what we promised, and we paid them on time or sometime before the agreement date also. And as a result, of course, word got spreaded, and then we were having enough lands.
Okay, so something equally important with capital is gaining investors' confidence, because 20 years back you were a total stranger to this market and you were a new entrant to the community. So how did you gain investors' confidence, both ends, the buyer and the seller?
Right. It's basically we came out with unparalleled customer service, and to gain confidence, of course, we'll have to deliver what you promise, and in fact we have over delivered also. As a result, what we promise, the payment on time, the correct title, then giving correct infrastructure like providing electricity, water, and arranging bank loans within a matter of two visits to the bank in 20 years ago. So those were really changed the landscape and the real estate industry. And as a result, of course, our customers became our brand ambassadors, and then that way we got our confidence, and we earned the trust.
Okay, so you were talking about over delivering. So what are the value additions you provide today to your customers?
Yeah, basically at the moment, of course, we are having lands as well as houses and the apartment. When it comes to lands, value addition wise, we one main thing is giving them the correct title, then providing infrastructure like water, electricity, and so on, and then the arranging finances and with easy payment schemes. At the same time, giving water even where the water is not given by the government, so we have our own water schemes. Like that, the value addition is coming, and then some people we have a buyback option, and our customers will have the resaleability, and they can have the capital gain, because it's really value for money we try to give them.
Okay, so today you have become a trendsetter in the real estate industry. So what are the gaps you identified in the real estate market, and how did you address them?
Yeah, about 3 to 4 years ago, we really identified the apartment market, where the apartment market was really confined to the Colombo, and it was a high-end luxury market, where at least the apartment is more than 30 million. I identified that if we can provide an apartment with a reasonably price, maybe 10 million or 15 million, with almost the same facilities but little away from Colombo, let's say it's Colombo, and then in Rajagiriya or Battaramulla or Nugegoda or Talawattugoda, like that. So we gave them that option, and we came out with Battaramulla, then the Aturugiriya, Kottava, like that. We already have launched about 34 apartment projects, and out of that 9 apartment projects have been given, already delivered, and that created a huge industry and expanded the industry, and a lot of apartment complexes are now coming up, and with the same the middle income, middle range apartments. So that's we have created an industry, and we are very happy about that.
All right, so since you were talking about providing affordable accommodation, actually what support do you provide for the low income level, as having access to shelter is a basic requirement irrespective of your income level. What support do you provide for this segment?
Yeah, real estate sector is vast, and we cannot deliver everything to everybody. We have positioned ourselves as the middle and upper middle income range, and of course now we have gone into the upper middle income range as well. For the lower middle income group, of course, our lands are spreading over the country. Over the 14 districts, we are having our lands, and they are reasonably priced, and the people can get those lands. And then through our Summit Finance, we are providing the necessary financial assistance. And then again, HNB Grameen is there. They give the microfinance to the lower income category, and then they are benefited out of those organizations.
Okay, we see many new entrants coming into the market, maybe because of the attractiveness of the industry. At the same time, we see that people get misled or misguided as a final delivery of the product does not meet the initial agreement, as mainly the apartment complexes, it takes about 2 to 3 years to complete the project. So maybe there is a time frame also that you need to wait till you see the final product. So what is the advice as a veteran in this industry that you can provide for people who would want to purchase an apartment?
Yeah. First of all, since you do not see the apartment physically, because apartment is coming after 2 or 3 years time, first of all, better you should know with whom you are dealing with. And what is their experience, how many apartments complexes they have delivered, and what is the expertise they are having. And because the apartment complex needed a lot of capital and money, whether these financial capabilities, the resources are in that organization, and especially the after sales service, whether the maintenance, whether they can carry out that maintenance, and then at the same time technical know-how. Those are the ones that potential customer or investor should look into, and they can get the referrals from the bank or from the friends before they invest in their hard-earned money, because you are that's how you should safeguard your investment.
Okay, so if you look at the financial market, we see the lending rates going up at a rate. This has a direct impact on the construction business because the cost of borrowing keeps to increase with the lending rates going up. So how has this affected the real estate market?
Lending rates are started going up recently. Of course, the consequences we'll have yet to see. So definitely there will be a negative impact, because
how about the consumers? Because
for the consumers there can be the demand can be affected, and the cost of since the cost of capital is going up, the apartment prices might go up. So there will be a negative impact if the lending rate goes up further. Of course, we have been living with even the lending rates even at 18-20% as well. So we'll have to, as business people, we'll have to change our strategies and then look at different formula when it comes to that level.
Okay, as of now, how has the market reacted with the lending rate increase?
Of course, there we can see there may be slight reduction in the demand, but that we cannot really exactly see, because since this is the festival season and so on, it's yet to see.
Okay.
But then of course we'll have to change our strategies and go into a little lesser price lands in that case, so that the apartment will be priced lesser.
Okay, at the same time, the property prices also have been going up at a rate with no turning back actually. So what are your thoughts on this? As can we expect it further rising? Because some say it's a price bubble, some say it will further rise. As a veteran, what are your thoughts on this?
There can be corrections coming in, especially the land prices, because what I see, especially in Colombo, the prices are going up mainly because some of the intermediaries going and try to jack up the price. So sometime one land, but there may be so many buyers, not really buyers, the brokers are going after particular land. That is the price. So that will be corrected, I suppose. It has to correct at one point, but it will not come down as such, but it will might remain at the same level or stagnate.
Okay, so when you talk about Prime Group, something that we cannot leave out is your acquisition of Selinko Grameen Finance Company in 2011, which was insolvent at that time and which had a net loss of 3.3 billion rupees, and it was losing out about 50 million rupees every month. What made you take such a bold decision to acquire a company of that nature? Because that is against the business thinking, actually. So what made you take such a bold decision?
Yeah, of course, we were offered, this particular company was offered by central bank to us. And then we really thought it was, as you said, scaring, 3.3 billion cumulative losses, 50 million monthly losses, so 450 million statutory liabilities, over 1,000 employees' salaries were not paid. But we went beyond the balance sheet and saw that there had been 1,000 employees who are very committed. And then we had also 250,000 customers who are very loyal and ready to take money. So if the customers are there and if the employees are there, what are the missing ingredients? The leadership and the money. So we gave that one, then we motivated our employees and we changed the strategies, and now I'm happy to say that we have now merged with HNB also. The last year it was almost 1.4 billion profit after tax profit.
From Selinko Grameen?
Yeah, Selinko Grameen. We later changed to Prime Grameen and now it's HNB Grameen.
And you recently also, there were some acquisitions. Would you want to talk about those acquisitions?
Yeah, we have acquired Summit Finance. We did not, in our group, we did not have a listed company. So this also another area to go. So this is our first listed company called Summit Finance, where we will be giving specialized real estate finances, and we will change that company and we will be rebranding that company as Prime Finance Limited later on.
Okay, so any business to come to this position requires certain key decisions along its way. What were the turning points of Prime Group?
Yeah, basically, as I said, the acquisition of Grameen, then the identification of that market, where the market gap, where we went into in a big way to real estate apartment market with over 34 projects, and then which was huge success. Almost all the apartment complexes, over 90% we have sold. And the third one is we have entered into the upper segment of the apartment luxury, super luxury segment, with the acquisition of over 1 acre of land in Colombo 7, over 2.5 billion worth of land alone. And we are putting up apartment complex with it over 25 billion with 37 stories, and we have already sold without the advertisement. We haven't really launched the project. We have sold over 120 units as well.
Okay.
These are the key turning points, as well as we have received the continuously last 3 years receiving the Great Place to Work for Best 20 companies, and last year we were the gold winner from the medium scale category as well.
All right. So what are the key challenges you face in the real estate market? Because the market is volatile. You have many new entrants coming into the market. What are the actual challenges you face and how do you overcome them?
Yeah, there are so many entrants, as you said correctly. But our competitive edge is the 21 years of trust that we have earned. In real estate, the trust really matters. The other business as well, but real estate, it's more important. And then, of course, our unparalleled customer service. That is then again, the competitive edge. Anybody can come out with any projects, but they really may not be able to copy the customer service and those aspects, I suppose.
Okay, so you have about 1,300 employees in your organization, and you also provide indirect job opportunities, and at the same time you were talking about receiving an award for being one of the best places to work. How do you handle this situation when you have such a huge staff strength with you? How do you manage your human capital?
Basically, the Prime Group, without the associate company, of course, we have about 450 to 500.
Okay.
With Grameen, of course, it's an associate company.
Okay. Altogether.
Then the indirect, we have about 25 projects, and at least even if you put 100 per, even we have about 2,500. So basically, we have a very flexible, cordial relationship with the employees, and with that, that's the asset that we are having. That is how we manage to turn around whatever the companies. It's a open culture, and then friendly environment. We believe basically when a person comes to the office, they spend more time in the office than the home. So that we try to create the homely environment for our employees.
That's great. So, as a successful businessman, as a person who has built an empire from scratch, what is the message you want to pass to all those people who want to start their own business, but still they have some second thoughts about it?
Take the challenge and go for it. Of course, you should have the not just one is sufficient. Willingness is not sufficient. You will have to take that challenge and risk, and then go for it. And you'll have to have the patience also. What I see is the present the young entrepreneurs, they are in mighty hurry. Be patient, and the reward will come later on. Okay.
So my final question to you is just talk about what's happening right now in your organizations. What are the projects going on, ongoing projects? And
as you said, we are having at the moment running projects of 25 projects all over, and most of the projects are sold. A new one is Board Place project, Colombo 7, which is a luxury high-rise apartment project. Then we have launched the project last week, 2 weeks ago at Uswata Keyawa, just 30 minutes away from Colombo, but you will be going into your holiday home, which was a huge success, and we have almost all the apartments, and the new ones are also coming in some other areas in time to come. Then Castle Street, then Nugegoda, and everywhere we are having apartments, and we are delivering also within this 2 months another 6 apartment projects we are delivering to our customers.
Right, fantastic story. Thank you very much, Mr. Premalal, for joining us. And it was indeed lovely having you with us, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much for having me.
Right.